So now we're going to get into the real fun stuff, and that is building out these beautiful pages. Now, the plugin that I'm using to build these beautiful pages is called Elementor. Now, Elementor is completely free, and I love that about them. They are so generous in giving a full-featured free plugin. Now, they also have a premium add-on that is totally optional. Now, let me show you the homepage that we're going to be building in a moment, so I can show you the different parts of this that I used the premium version of Elementor. So all this stuff you see here, we're using the free version of it. We're still using the free version, Now we have this beautiful pricing table, and the pricing table feature is part of their Pro package. And when I scroll down, we have this countdown timer that I probably need to fix the date on. This is also part of the Pro package. So when you head over to Elementor's website, now I have a link down below that will take you there, but I want to just show you the Pro package. So when you come to the website right here, it's basically showing off the free version, which is full featured. And you could totally just roll with the free version of it. And then maybe when you start getting some sales of your courses, then you go in and maybe purchase this to add more power to your website. But I'm going to click right here where it says Get Pro. And I'm just going to briefly show you what you get with the Pro package and also how much it costs. So you're going to get the ability to create a beautiful post grid, but it's not just for posts. You could actually have a lesson grid. So you see these different options, a list, a grid, masonry, or for a blog. You can do that for your lessons as well, or your courses. And that's really nice. You have this form editor. So all these forms that you see here in the background, opt-in forms, contact forms, you're going to be able to visually build all of that in this same visual editor that you're going to become a master of using its interface. So we also have this global widget option. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but this is very powerful. So you can create an element that you use on one page, and then you can use it on multiple pages. But if you need to change something, you can change it in one location and it changes across your website. Sorry if that's a little complicated. Custom CSS, we're not going to need this in this project, but it's a very powerful feature to have. Embed anywhere is nice as well. We're not going to be using that though in this project. Slides, this is amazing because you can create a beautiful slideshow without having to buy something else and without having to go learn a new interface. You can just do it all in Elementor Pro. And as I scroll down, if you wanted to have a traditional e-commerce platform in your website, you're typically going to use this thing called WooCommerce, and it has a lot of elements for WooCommerce to basically get buy buttons and product images anywhere you want on your website. It's very powerful, and it's also going to come with Pro templates. Now, these aren't all the Pro templates that it comes with, but these are gorgeous, beautifully designed additional templates that you're going to get included. And right here is another breakdown of the different widgets that you get, the features that you're going to be able to add to your website with this. So we've got that posts, a portfolio, slider, forms, pricing table. I talked about all those, but you also have a countdown timer, which is really great for creating sales pages. A price list. This is really awesome for a restaurant. Of course, we're making a course website, but if you wanted a list of prices, you could do that. The flip box is a very neat feature as well. There's some really interesting ways to use this that I've made a video on. Here's our WooCommerce elements. You get the premium templates, and here's some items that are coming soon. They have a carousel, MailChimp integration, Twitter feed, and they're really putting some innovative things in here. I know of some other stuff that they're adding that they haven't made the information public yet. And by the time you're actually watching this video, I bet if you came to this page right here and you looked, you would see that they have a lot more widgets added. It's just pretty amazing, the powerful features that they're adding. And the beauty is a lot of these things you'd have to go and buy something separate in order to have, and then you'd have to learn a whole new interface, and it makes it a little complicated. The beauty of just buying Elementor Pro is that you don't have to learn a new interface. It's all just right there for you. So here are the prices. What I really like is that they have a single site option. So right here for $49, you can have Elementor Pro on one website, and then the middle package is 3 websites, and the package here on the right is unlimited, and it's going to come with paid premium support. And you know, I actually bought a personal license and then I paid for an unlimited license, and I didn't even ask for a refund on the personal license. And the reason I did that is because I just wanted to support the developers. They have made such an amazing free page builder that you're going to see in a moment, and it's so powerful, and I just wanted them to be successful, so I wanted to buy something from them, and this is a great way to support the developer. Now, if you didn't go with the hosting that I recommended, in order to get the course bundle that I was offering, I do have different course bundles available on these various packages that you would purchase. So if you purchased this right here and you didn't go with the hosting, I have a whole course on using Elementor, and you just send me the receipt and I would go ahead and verify it and then get you access to my course on Elementor so you can really master it. And if you purchase this, I would give you that in an additional course. I have it all listed on my website, so you can just head on over to my website. I'll have a link down below in the video as well that you can click on to see what I'm throwing in if you did purchase any of these through the link on my website. But like I said, you can get it if you want. You don't have to get it at all. There's just 1 or 2 little things that I decided I wanted to just show you some of the power of this when I created the template. And here's just some frequently asked questions. So I really love this, and I really love what they are doing, what they've given to us. So I need to install the Pro version on this site that I'm building in order to recreate some of those elements I showed you on the homepage. So I just need to go to Plugins, Add New, and then I need to click on Upload Plugin, and I'm just going to drag and drop it in there. So it's just an add-on plugin. You'd leave the same Elementor we installed already. You would just add this, and it will unlock those additional features. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Activate Plugin right there. And I need to click on this in order to actually activate the license, but it's in there and it's working now. Now, Elementor has its setting panel right here, and it's probably going to be on the bottom for you. And when you click on it like that, this is where we can start setting some of the options for Elementor before we start building out our page. And so right here is the different type of pages that we want to use Elementor on. We'll leave the default post and pages. And this is good if you had a website with lots of different people logging into it. For instance, an editor or contributor, you can choose who sees and who doesn't see the Elementor page builder options. Right here is some styling options. We're going to leave these unchecked, but essentially if we did check these, it would pull its styling options in from your theme, which is fine. And we're going to leave the content width the same. We're going to leave that. We're not going to play around with any of those. And this reCAPTCHA option right here, this is only if you have the Pro version, and this gives you the option to have a reCAPTCHA. That's that image verification that you can have on a contact form to reduce spam. So I'm not going to set that either. And then we have this My Library option right here, and this is where we're going to go ahead and import templates. And since we're in here, let's just go ahead and do it right now. So I'm going to click on Import Template, and then right here we just need to drag and drop the template files that were in the download package that you've already downloaded. So I'm going to pull up the download. Here it is, and we have this folder that says page templates. So go ahead and double click in there, and this is what you see in there. It might be different by the time you are downloading it, but what we want to do is import these JSON files. See, it says JSON, and there's 3 of them. So this is the main homepage that we're going to create in this video series, and then here are the 2 others. So this is how you import the page template. You just drag and drop it right there, and then you click on Import Now. And there it is. There is the main homepage. So let's do it for the other 2. I'm going to click on Import Templates, and let's import the 3rd homepage. Let's go there. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to do the last homepage right here. Okay, so now we have these 3 templates. Now, I might change the name at some point, what you see here, but it should make sense to you what it is. we've got the main homepage, and this is what we're going to recreate. Here is the bluish homepage I showed you and the pink-orange homepage right here. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and look at the remainder of the options and then do a little bit of setup before we start building our page. So go ahead and click on Tools, and this is where there's going to be some troubleshooting help here. So if you run into some problems, you might want to click this Regenerate CSS. I've never needed to do that before, so you should be fine. Sync library, this is going to resync it with their template library that they have for their free templates. It does this automatically each day. Replace URL is basically an option if you're migrating to a different domain name. You can use this tool to replace the URL. And then system info is actually very helpful. If you are needing support, you might have to get this system info page and send them all of this info. So you see it right here. You can just copy and paste it. And this is going to let them know the environment that your web hosting account is on and all these different variables so that they'll be able to better help you if you end up needing help. And if you have that pro version, right here, you can click on license and just paste your license key in there, and then click on the activate button. If you don't have the pro version in, it will say Go Pro or something like that right here. So now I want to take you inside of the Elementor page builder for the home page, and there's just a few steps that I like to do in Elementor to set up some global options. So go ahead and click on Pages, and then we're going to go ahead and click on our home page right here. It says Home Front Page. Click on that. Now, by default, when you want to use a page builder, you're going to have to go and set this option right here where it says template and it says default template. You're going to need to go to the drop down and choose full width template. This is essentially going to unlock the particular page you're on for the page builder to work perfectly in. So let me actually show you what happens with and without that. So without that, I'm going to go ahead and click on this Edit with Elementor button, and it's going to take me right into Elementor. Now you're going to see I'm stuck with this sidebar and I'm not getting the full width, and I've got this title right here. And so if I wanted to say, let me just add a section right here. I'm going to explain all this later. And then I click on section and I want to give it a color. I'm just doing this real quick and I'm not expecting you to get this. So I'm just trying to prove my point. So there's this background color. This is not what we're after. We want to get rid of all this space and the sidebar and the title. And the way we do that is we choose that full width template. So let me just click on save. And it's going to save this. So this is how it looks now. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click on this X and go back to the dashboard. Now I'm going to show you everything. I know I'm going fast, but don't worry, this isn't the actual explanation of how to use the builder. So that's how it looks without selecting this. And then when you do select it from default to full width, you have to click on update. And that will just take a sec. Now I'm going to click on Edit with Elementor and you're going to be able to see the difference. So now look at that same section. It's moved up to the top. All that spacing's gone. My sidebar's gone. The title's gone, and it's perfectly integrated already. And so that's why you need to choose for each page you're going to use Elementor on. You're going to want to choose that full width option right there so it's fully integrated. And Elementor will have full control over the area. So, okay, I want to just explain some things about Elementor real quick in the interface, and then we'll get into building out that home page. So first, right here, you have two options. You have the hamburger icons right here on the left, and then you have like the dial keypad right here on the right. So this right here is always going to take you to what you see now. But when I click on this, we're going to have some other options right here, which is very nice. So we have this area where we can choose global colors and global fonts. And this is going to make things a lot easier if we just go ahead and choose these now. So global colors, this will be certain things we're not going to have to choose a color and you can change globally. And the same goes for fonts. So what I want to do is click on global colors right now, and it shows this default color palette. Say we drag a title in here, it's going to pull from these colors. So here, Here, let me give you an example. So let me get rid of this blue color because it's going to just drive me crazy. Okay, let me clear it. So now it's white. So I'm going to click on the dial pad, and I've got all these elements that I can just drag and drop in. So I'm going to drag and drop title in just like that, and you can see it has this blue. And you might be thinking, where the heck does it pull that blue from? Well, this is the global colors, and if we set these up front, it's going to make building out pages a lot easier and a lot more seamless. So let me go back and click on that hamburger icon and then go back to global colors, and you can see it's pulling from the primary color. So remember, I made a video, I talked about primary colors and secondary colors, and then I talked about a pop color. That's it right there. So this is where we're going to choose the colors that everything will look like by default. So I'm going to go ahead and copy those in right now. So for this primary color, I'm going to click on it, and I want it to be this color I just put in my clipboard, which is kind of a blackish color. You can just manually set one, or if you chose your colors, you could do it. But you see, I put that in and it immediately changed it right there. So that's one of the colors that I wanted to change. And the next, I wanted to set this accent color that is this green. I'm going to make it that color that I'm going to use in making the home page. So these are going to be some global colors that show. And what's really neat about Elementor is it shows you some of these really cool color palettes. So you could essentially choose one of these other color palettes if you wanted. But this is one of the things we always want to do first. So now I'm going to click on this green apply button, and that will be saved. And then I want to click on the hamburger icon again and do something similar, but for fonts this time. So we get to choose these global fonts. Now, anything you can override the font, and I'm going to be teaching you how to do that. And so, but I wanted to show you how we can do this globally. So the fonts that I have selected, and I had that video where I showed you fonts. So I'm going to click on primary headline. By default, it's set to Roboto, but I'm going to do something different. It's kind of that cursive looking font. So all you have to do is go to the drop down and choose the font you want. You can start typing it in. And this is it right here, shadows into light. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and there it is. It's already applied to my template globally. And then for the weight, I'm going to leave it at 600. This is the thickness. So let me collapse that, and for my secondary font, I'm going to go ahead and leave that at Roboto Slab. For my body font, I'm going to go ahead and leave that for Roboto 400, and for the accent, I'm going to leave that for Roboto as well. So these are essentially the 4 different fonts that all the elements pretty much use, and you can set them globally right here to whatever you want them to be. So remember, I said you typically want 2 or 3 fonts. You're going to have a headline font, a body font, and then you might want a third sub-headline font. And you can see how it's all starting to come together, where you can put your fonts in and the thickness of those fonts right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on apply, and now that is saved. So the only other area of Elementor that you're going to want to put some custom settings in is this color picker. So for everything in Elementor, there's a color picker. Let me just show you what I mean, and then we're going to come back to this setting. So if I click on the heading, it's going to start showing me the options right here for the heading. And colors are typically going to always be found where it says style. So I'm going to click on style, and it says text color right here. And right now it's pulling it from the global color options that we just set. So that's why this is clear, but you can override anything. So if I click on this, it's going to show me this bit of color here where I can take this dial and I can change it to whatever I want. But here's a color picker. And so you have these 8 color slots here. Now, the nice thing about Elementor is it allows you to choose which colors you want in these 8 color slots here. So you're not constantly having to copy and paste color codes, trying to get things to match perfectly. We can set this once in the color picker setting, and they'll be available to us right here. So you can see right now we have this light-ish green right here. Well, let me get rid of this like that, and I'm going to go back into that little settings panel. I'm going to click on color picker, and look, you see it's that same green color. In fact, here are those 8 color slots that you can change to whatever you want. So if I wanted to change this color from that green to that color that I'm going to be using, I can just paste it in like that, and now it's changed, and I can go ahead and click on apply. So now let's see what happens when I click on heading. So I'm going to click on it, click on style, and I'm going to click on this to pull up the color palette, and there it is. It's not that green anymore. It's that other color. So this is a big time saver to go ahead and load in your colors in this color picker option right here. It's going to just save you time. Okay, next we have revision history, and what this is every time you click on this save button, it's going to put an entry in this revision history. Now I haven't really saved it, so actually let me click on save and see if it adds a second one. So now it added a second one. So this was the first time I saved it, and then here was the second save. So I can click on any different prior saved revision and it will just completely change the content. So if I click on this, it's going to change it to exactly how the page looked at when I clicked on save at that time. If I click on here, it will go back to the save I just made. So this is actually very powerful and very flexible way to try different ways of doing things, saving it, and then being able to quickly go back and forth and compare them and not lose any of your work. So that's this revision history, which is a very powerful option. So let's go back. Now, if you click right here where it says Elementor settings, it's going to take you back to that settings panel in WordPress that I just showed you. This is nice if you want to, if you're just testing a bunch of things and you want to delete everything off the page, you can go ahead and click on this. So this is what happens. You click on it and it pulls this option up to confirm. You can just click on delete, and then everything you've done on that page is erased. And then you have these options down here. So you've got your save button right here. We have this little folder, and when you click on it, it's going to show you the template library and give you an option to save what you're doing right now, and you can even export it and use it for other things or use it in other parts of your website. When you click on template library, it essentially pulls up this pop-up and it shows you all of the available templates. Now keep in mind, these ones that say Pro, they're only accessible to me because I have purchased the Pro package and I can restore those if I wanted to. But here are all the templates. You can just click on it, click on insert, or just click on the little hourglass there to see a preview of it. Now what's also nice is right here it says my templates. Look at this. Isn't this familiar? These are those 3-page templates that we already imported. So I can go ahead and click on any of these, click on insert, and it's going to insert it into our page. Actually, let me do that now just to see what it's going to look like. So there it is. I clicked on insert. Now the only thing that doesn't come across is our images, so we didn't get the image in the background here. We didn't get the images right here, so it just puts this image placeholder. We didn't get the image right here of the person standing, and right here we didn't get the image of the 2 women that were together, just like that. Here's our pricing table, and here's our countdown timer, but you saw how powerful that was. So what you would do is you would just restore your template, and then for each of these locations where there's an image right here, you would just click on it, and then right here you can choose whatever image that you want to put in that location. And that's how easy it is to restore any of these templates from the template library. But we're going to build this from scratch anyway, and that's how you're going to learn how to really use this page builder. So we have this question here, and this is going to take you to a help pages. Right here is really neat. When you click on it, you can go into different responsive modes. So you can see how the page is going to look on a tablet or on a mobile, and you can tweak some of the spacings for each of those so that you can make sure that your web page is pixel perfect for any device. And then you have this X here, and when you click on this, it's going to either go back into WordPress or show you the page you're working on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase all this because we're going to build it from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and click on delete all content, click on delete, and that is going to be all gone. I'm going to click on save, and that's pretty much as far as I'm going to take you in this video. In the next video, we're going to start building the page using all of the various widgets and elements that are available to us right here, and I'm going to show you exactly how to build this page. It's going to be easy. It's going to be a little bit bit of a learning curve, but it's going to be very rewarding. And in building it, you're going to learn how to essentially build anything that you could want to build using Elementor. I'm talking home pages, landing pages, any page you could want. You're going to have the knowledge and the skills on how to build in this next video that's coming up.